saving like I do. Hello beautiful, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Caitlin if you're new here. When it comes to money, in particular saving money, I need something fun, I need something creative to help keep me motivated and going and using the spreads that I'm creating. I'm not only just going to show you how to create the spreads today, but also how to use them so that you're getting the most out of these spreads. If you are interested, I did actually end up creating a whole PDF of a whole bunch of different savings challenges that you can use and implement up on my shop. But with that, I will hop right into the video. When looking at the savings challenges, I'm gonna start from the most general and then kind of work our way down into specific savings trackers and spreads you can use. So the biggest tracker that I can come up with is saving something once a week throughout the year. So this is the 52-week challenge. Now, when it comes to the 52-week challenge, there's a couple different ways that you can do it, but the one that I'm going to be showing you here is you're selecting a specific dollar amount to save each week. And because it's 2023, I thought it would be a perfect dollar amount to do $23 each week. And you end up with almost $1,200 for the year, which is a good amount that you can put towards whatever other type of savings goals that you have. Now, to make this a little bit easier, all I'm doing is dividing the page into 6 different columns and then adding in the titles for amount, balance, and then what week it's going to be as well. I am going to be showing you how to fill in every single spread that we're going to be working with. So if it looks a little bit confusing, don't worry, I got you covered just in a little bit. So that first and fourth column are going to be all of the weeks. So week 1 to 52. And then that amount column, which is the second and then the 5th column, is going to fill in our goal. So I have the dollar amount of 23. Now you can always switch up your goals. So if you don't want to save $23 a week, maybe you want something a bit more round number like 20, 25, or maybe you want different numbers completely each week. Go for it, adjust the spreads to fit your needs. So for the first week, once I've accomplished it, I'm gonna write in that I've saved $23. Second week, I'm gonna add $23 to the next one. So that's gonna be 46 and so on and so forth until I end up with my final goal of $1,196 in the bank. Next up is going to be $1 a day makes a lot of dollars. So I'm coming in with my mini calendars here from my shop and then my grid spacing ruler just to get a little bit better of a spacing guide. But you're more than welcome to write these out yourself. It does take a little bit of time. That's why I opted for stickers, but you can always print something out or stamps as well as another good option. So in each square box, what I'm doing is coming in and filling in both the header of the month as well as the calendar corresponding with that month. And then I'm going to be filling in exactly what days. So like our 52-week challenge for saving money example, you can always switch up the amount that you did each day. However, I think $1 a day is pretty realistic. So when it comes to January, let's say I end up saving $1 on the 1st, on the 2nd, but the 3rd I miss. That's okay, I'm just not gonna color it in. I'm gonna keep going and filling in whatever colors I have. Up next, I'm gonna be using some printable templates that I actually created to help you save for different events, life stages, holidays, seasons, things like that in a little bit more of a creative way. I actually have these created in a bunch of different sizes so that no matter what journal you're using, you're able to print it off and fit it directly in, no problem. I'm starting off just by gluing this in. I do prefer using crafter's tape, except I ran out right before this video, so a glue stick is perfectly fine. I'm lining up the edges and then just pushing it down with a ruler so it's a little bit more firm in comparison to my fingers. Then for filling it in, all I gotta do is color in each of these different icons and then put a dollar amount in. So maybe for Valentine's Day, I'd like to get a gift and go out for dinner. So what I'm gonna do is every heart is going to represent $2. So when I save up $2, whether it be in a cash envelope system, or transferring it into a savings account in my bank account, no matter what way I'm going to be saving, I have a way to track it and easily see how far along my goal is. So like a holiday like Valentine's Day, seasons are something that you might want to save up for as well. Springtime is spring cleaning in our house. We're gonna have to get a whole bunch of household cleaners, but I would also maybe want to do stuff out and about in the city that only can happen in the springtime. So make sure you're thinking of events like that as well. So I did want to just note that sometimes the dollar amount could be a little large. So like saving up for a car. So maybe you don't want to necessarily color something in because you might have to save up a bit more money for each of those colored in icons. Instead, you can track it manually through a list. So that's just what I'm doing here on the right-hand side is I'm just creating more of a chart, a list for me to write things out. So the different titles for these sections are going to be the date that I ended up saving the money, the transaction, and I'll get a little bit more into that later, the amount, and then the balance. So when filling this out, I'm just gonna write down where my money is coming from. So that's gonna be the transaction. So maybe I had a paycheck happen and I'm taking $150 from that and putting it into this savings account. Then maybe what I'm doing is a coin challenge, and that is also going to be giving me money into my car savings. I get paid a couple dollars from a birthday gift, things like that. So it's going to be easier to have a variety of numbers, but also large, small quantities too, for you to easily see what amount and what balance you're at. Moving on, I'm going to be coming in with this washi tape just to create more of a decorative element, and I'm going to do a roundup challenge. Now this is one of the printout options that I had, but I did want to show you that you can create a whole bunch of different creative savings tracker spreads as well in your journal, no problem. So what I did is divided the page into date, transaction, amount, roundup, and balance. So I think that this one actually works a little bit better if you were using it on your phone, but I love writing things in my journal to keep track and have just a bit more of a mindful presence when it comes to my money. So maybe I went to the grocery store and the bill was a little over $126. So I can either round up to the closest dollar, or I can round up to the closest whole dollar. So when I say whole dollar, I mean like 125, 130. So that would be my next one. You do end up saving a little bit more money with the second option, but that is something you can do as well. The next challenge is going to be a coin challenge, and I thought a printout would be just easy for this one because drawing a whole bunch of coins are a little bit tedious. For filling this in, you can do it individually. Each coin's going to represent something different, or you can fill up the jar. So I actually have a pickle jar that I fill up all my coins with, and that would just track, okay, I'm about a third of the way up the jar. When you're done, you're going to go up to the top and write down exactly how much you ended up saving just by tossing some coins in a jar instead of spending it. Next spread is going to be a little bit more decorative, and I'm coming in with the washi tape in this dragonfly. It's so beautiful, I love it, to create some money habits. Now, money habits could look a little different for you and me, but I'm coming in with some monthly habit tracker stickers and then using my grid spacing ruler just so it's evened out on my page a little bit better. And what I'm gonna do is see either where I can save money, but also where I can earn more money as well. So one of mine is no spend days. Those are pretty popular as well. Your no spend day could look a little bit different than mine. And then I'm gonna come either X out or color in whenever I do not spend. You could also take it a step further and color it in a different color when you did spend, so you have that visual reference really quickly. But some other things could be eating at home, learning about money. So it's not necessarily saving money, but it's a good money habit to accumulate. Things like free date nights. I'm already going out on a date, so maybe there's a way that I can incorporate a more cost-effective way to do it. Coffee at home, using public transportation, so exchanging one habit for another. So for this free date night, I'm not going to be going on dates every single day. So what I did to fill this one out is I just circled the days that I knew I was going to have a date in the month. And then I can color it in again if I completed it or I didn't, not spending money. Moving on to the next spread is going to be a no spend challenge. So again, your spending could look a little bit different than mine, but what I'm gonna do is come in and color in all of these numbers when I didn't spend any money. Now, what I look at for a no spend challenge is spending things on needs and necessities do not count. So going to the grocery store for me would not count. But if I went to the grocery store and I picked up something that I didn't actually need, then that is when I'm going to say, okay, I spent money, I'm not gonna be able to color in my no spend. So scrolling through online shopping is a little bit of a challenge to me, especially when it comes to journaling supplies. So that would be something that I would need to be more mindful of during the month. Next up is going to be a food saver. So I chatted a little bit about this in my different food spreads that you can use in your bullet journal for price matching. So those two spreads would work really well together. I love price matching. But then when I save that money, what am I actually going to do with it? Here is where this spread comes in. So whether I'm going to the grocery store, maybe I've used a coupon when I'm going out for dinner, things like that, those saved dollars I can end up putting on this tracker. So I'm coming in to fill in the date, the transaction, and then the money saved and my balance. One thing that I did do a little bit differently, and you should probably keep in mind as well when it comes to saving, is where is your money going? So I just had a little section at the bottom of the page here to show exactly where my money was going to be ending up. And so any money that I earned from saving in this food challenge, I am going to put it in my coin jar. So that is a technique that helps you allocate money so you just don't end up spending it. On the right is going to be more of a habit saving tracker that you already have implemented. So for me, it's reading. So I'm gonna take that good habit that I already have and then make a game out of it. So I come in with the date, how many pages and money that's going to be allocated towards it, the amount total, where is it being transferred to, and my balance. So for every 5 pages that I read, I want to save $2. So for the first day, I read 10 pages, so I'm saving $4. And then the second day, I ended up reading 20 pages, so I'm saving $8. So this money I've allocated towards my garden project, but you can also transfer it to a specific challenge as well, or say what savings accounts it's going into, which I kind of just showed up at the top. Last but not least is the 100 envelope challenge, and this is probably one of the most popular challenges in the cash budgeting YouTube community that I have seen, and I've actually participated in this one myself, and the money stacks up fast, I will say. One thing that I did want to show is that if you didn't necessarily want the background that I provided in the printables, you can always create your own by taking a cute decorative washi tape and just cutting around the edges, sticking everything in, and then using the tracker that way. One thing for the envelope challenge is when you're filling it out, you can either do it in order, which I like but also don't like, because then at the end of the challenge you're saving lots of money every single week, or you can look at where your budget, your paycheck lies and fill out these spreads that way. So maybe you get a bonus one week so you can fill out a higher envelope. This is the way that I found it worked the best for me. Here is just a quick little flip through of what we did today together. And if you have any other money saving challenges or techniques that you use, let me know down in the comments below. If you've watched up until this point of the video, leave a little money emoji down there. I'll see you in another one. Enjoy the flip through. Well, that is it. Thank you for watching the video so far. And if you did enjoy this, make sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing down below. In the meantime, if you do need a little bit more help in the financial department, I have a whole bunch of videos over there, and I will see you in another one. Bye!